I don't like horror. I wouldn't say I hate it as a storytelling device, but rather, I hate how it makes me feel. I hate the adrenaline rush, feeling unsettled and uncomfortable. And I've always told people that I won't play any horror games on my channel. Then how did we end up here? I mean, you literally just said that you hate horror and you hate the way it makes you feel, so why did you suddenly change? Yeah, I genuinely just wanted to know what the girlies are talking about. So I guess you can thank Leon S. Kennedy for making me play my first ever horror game. Major spoilers ahead. When you first open the game, you hear this lovely sound, which I will allow myself to use in the most inappropriate times. Resident Evil 4 starts by getting to know our main character, Leon's story. He is sent on a mission to find the daughter of the president, Ashley, who's been kidnapped by a mysterious religious cult, assumingly for some ritual. Part 1. The Village. The first part of the game takes place in a small village, and the scenery is so beautiful. The village combines both farm aesthetic and fall vibes, giving it almost a cozy, rural style. It didn't feel horror-y to me at all. Maybe it was a way of the game easing you up and slowly introducing you to scarier environments, but either way, I think the village has its own unique charm, and I was admiring it a lot whenever I could actually catch a breath. The village is where the last trace of Ashley is, but very quickly Leon notices that there is something off about this place. As soon as we arrive, both of our colleagues go missing, and we realize that people in this village are highly aggressive, and they are the ones that killed the police officers. We encounter our first mini boss fight, fighting off the villagers and the chainsaw man. The first time I played it, I thought that you have to kill everyone in the village, and naturally I was dying over and over and over again until I literally had to lower the difficulty to easy. Only to realize you didn't have to kill everyone, you just had to stay alive long enough until the bell rings.
Huh?
However, I'm actually glad that I changed the difficulty to easy because the game progressively gets more and more challenging, and if I'm being honest with you, I don't know if I would enjoy it as much if I left the game on normal. This is also when we get this gem of a line.
Where's everyone going? Bingo?
We managed to find someone who also has been clearly captured by the cult. However, right before freeing him, we get stopped by this huge man in a coat that knocks us out and injects a strange-looking liquid containing some sort of parasite in us. The parasite is what turned those villagers into zombie-like creatures, and now we're also infected with it. After waking up, Leon realizes that he is chained up with Louis Serra, a strange but endearing man who helps us escape but ultimately leaves us. We find information that Ashley is being kept at the church, which becomes our next destination. After Leon escapes the cult and gets all of his stuff back, we meet one of the best characters in the entire game, the merchant. He will buy absolutely anything from you, and truthfully, every single time I saw his purple lights, I felt so relieved. In order to get to the church where Ashley, the president's daughter, is being kept, we have to break into the village chief's house and find a key. In that place, we see a wall full of these crucifixes, which are the symbol of the cult. There's also this thing covered by a piece of fabric, and I swear to you, I thought it's a person that's just waiting to catch me off guard and kill me. It turned out it's just a decoration though. After solving the puzzles in this house, we are greeted yet again by the man in a coat. But before he hurts us, he gets shot by a mysterious lady in red. The man in the coat leaves Leon alone, and now we can continue to search for the key to the church. Outside of the house, you can find a wolf that has been trapped, and you can choose to free him. Upon our return to the village, we can now enter what, in my opinion, is the scariest place in the entire game. Just approaching it from the top, I could see it's pitch black down there, and I fully expected this underground area to have a jump scare. I dropped myself down with Leon, and with red cheeks and heart pounding loudly in my chest, I investigated the area. I slowly looked around, waiting to be jumped. As I continue walking down the tunnel, I finally noticed the exit. There was nothing in that tunnel. Turns out the game doesn't even have to have anything scary. My own brain is scary enough. After this traumatizing experience, we continue looking for the key to the church.
Good luck finding someone big enough to use this thing.
Leon. In order to get it, we first must get a boat to help us traverse through the lake. But there is a catch. Deep underwater lives a dangerous creature that eats humans.
Fuck. The hell was that?
Nessie.
You nicknamed my daughter after the Loch Ness Monster?
It's definitely an unusual boss in a horror game. I say that as if I played any other horror games. The mechanics were pretty simple and the fight just wasn't dynamic enough for my liking. After defeating the Loch Ness Monster, Leon coughs blood, showing the effects of the parasite attacking his body. Finally, once we obtain the key in the caves near the lake, we get ambushed and attacked by the giant.
Jesus Christ!
In this fight, the game rewards you for saving that wolf earlier, and he helps us to fight the giant. I do have to say that I wish the wolf stayed as our little companion throughout the whole game, or at least popped in once in a while, but alas, we never see him again.
It's a wolf thing.
At last, so we get to the church and see Ashley, who understandably doesn't trust us at first.
I'm hearing the president's orders and... That went well.
Considering that she's been abducted by the cult and also probably got injected with that parasite, it makes sense. She must be terrified. Speaking of which, as much as I love Ashley's character in this remake, I cannot lie. Her outfit is such a downgrade to her original one. The original design makes her look like a young, trendy girl, which suits Ashley's social status. But the remake makes her look like she's the one running for the president. After getting to Ashley, we see a vision of the cult leader, Lord Sadler, who finds out that we have freed Ashley and now sends his army of zombie villagers to stop us from escaping. Our next task is to safely escort Ashley out of the village. I really like how cooperative Ashley is and how she doesn't question it when Leon tells her to hide.
Wait here.
What? Okay.
She is surprised, yes, but she doesn't argue about it. She trusts that Leon will keep her safe. During our escape, we are reunited with Louise, who helps us get to safety. Leon is still distrustful of him and questions his intentions, but we still have to fight off a horde of villagers, so we kind of have to postpone the talking. After they manage to run away, Louise tells them about the plaga, that parasite that they have inside of their bodies and how it makes them more and more sick. He explains that there is a way to get rid of the parasite if it's in its early stages with a special procedure, but they just don't have the right equipment here. Louise reveals also that he used to have that parasite and now has a plan to help us remove it. However, he wants our characters to trust him first. And Leon and Ashley don't really have a choice, so they go along with whatever he says. He proceeds to go off on his own, promising to contact our main characters. And perhaps Leon's suspicions are not wrong, because soon afterwards we see Louise meeting up with Ada, the mysterious woman in red we saw earlier. She asks him about the Ember. We don't really know what the Ember is at this point, so Louise tells her that he doesn't have it at the moment, but he did manage to hide it. As we find out, Louise and this suspiciously evil company that Ada works for made a deal that they will give Louise protection if he brings them the Ember. Now we're back with Leon and Ashley as they try to escape the village. We fight another mini-boss, the Chainsaw Sisters. Fighting two powerful characters at once was a bit more challenging, especially if they separated into two different places. So I created a tactic. I tried to get them in one place, then threw a flash grenade to stun them, and then just spam them all. But hey, it worked. After the fight, I really like how Leon asks Ashley if she's hurt and compliments her that she did well. It shows me that he is genuinely trying to make her feel more at ease in this horrifying situation that they're both in. I think it's really sweet and definitely makes you realize that if you were ever in this type of situation, you would want someone like Leon to be by your side. The man in the coat catches up to Leon and Ashley and challenges him to a fight. This is the first big boss of the game.
God, I thank you for your gift.
My first reaction upon seeing the anatomy of it was, what in the Erenjäger is this boss? This single-handedly was my favorite boss in the whole game, especially the second phase. It was designed in such a fun and clever way. I like that you had to use the elevation to your advantage in order to fight him. The best part was when Erenjäger tried to throw these flammable barrels at you and you can shoot them so that his plan literally backfires. 10 out of 10 boss. It made me realize that, wait, this game is actually fun. Part 2. The castle. This is my favorite area in the game. From the visual design to the plot and characters, puzzles, everything about this place was memorable, and I'm glad that the game spends a good chunk of its runtime there. Even though upon my replay I have grown to appreciate the village a lot too, I still think that the castle is just the chef's kiss. Louise contacts Leon again and offers medicine that can stop the effects of the plaga. He tells them to meet him in the courtyard. Upon entering a castle, we meet a man named Ramon, who instantly reminded me of Lord Farquaad. He's the royal of the castle and a loyal servant of Lord Sadler, the cult leader. He wants to take away Ashley from us, but we're not giving her up. Ramon is amused at the idea and wants to have fun while his army tries to kill Leon in his castle. Very Lord Farquaad coded.
Some of you may die, but it's a sacrifice I am willing to make.
We enter one of the most scary areas in the whole game, the dungeon, with torture devices, corpses, and these creepy sounds that we are slowly approaching. We accidentally fall into a place with a blind man who attacks us as soon as he hears any sound. In the area where you fight this boss, you have all these chains hanging from the ceiling and falling screens that you can use to your advantage while fighting this boss. Since he can't see you, you have to be very careful not to give away your position. I deeply enjoyed this combat idea. Having to literally stop mid-battle and not move is completely opposite of how battles usually are. We are so used to constantly running around and trying to evade all of the attacks, but this one allows you to slow down and really think about your positioning, especially since there are these chains hanging from the ceiling, and if you're not careful enough, it is really easy to bump into them. When we defeat the boss, there are so many puzzles ahead, including one that requires you to swing on the chandelier.
Don't even think about trying this yourself.
Me?
I also slowly started noticing a lot of knight statues / armor displays. I was suspicious that at some point one of them is going to move and attack me. I want to praise Ashley for a little bit. For example, she gives Leon a lot of compliments, especially when he makes difficult shots.
Look at you.
And also, she is so brave. If Leon asks her to go on her own and do something for him, she goes without any question, fully trusting Leon that he will cover for her just in case.
Come on.
Okay.
Come on.
No problem.
You got it?
Duh.
We finally arrive at the courtyard, but something is wrong with Ashley. It turns out that Lord Sadler can control people through the parasite, so he takes over Ashley's body to sabotage the mission.
Ashley.
When Ashley regains control over her own body, she's terrified of what she did to Leon and she runs away. Being separated from Ashley, Leon looks around the castle in order to find her. In one of the rooms, he meets Ada. From what I understood, she is his past lover who he can't get over, and she kind of plays with his feelings but also still cares a little bit. Ada suggests Leon to give up on Ashley and toys with him, saying that if he gives up on saving Ashley, he might live long enough to meet her and be romantically together again. Leon, however, refuses, stating that he won't give up so easily, alluding to both saving Ashley and also his and Ada's romantic relationship. I have some thoughts on Ada's and Leon's relationship. Mind you, I don't have any prior knowledge from other games, so I have no idea what actually happened between these two. But from this game exclusively, I was able to deduce that Ada is the type of person who always has her own agenda, and you never really know what to expect from her, what she's up to, which side she's on. She's a really fascinating character in this game for me as a player. She's complex and her morality is always somewhere in the gray zone. On top of that, she is breathtakingly beautiful. However, if I was one of the characters in the game, oh boy, I would run away as far as possible. You would not see me around her. I need people that I can count on, and I know where they stand morally, especially in a world such as Resident Evil. Leon seems like the type of person who has a very strong sense of morality and will always try to do what's right, regardless of how difficult it is. This is completely opposite of Ada's approach. Ada will always do what's best for her own goals, regardless of other people. She's not a bad person, as she helps Leon multiple times throughout the game, but at the end of the day, she'll always do her own thing, and you won't ever be able to fully count on her. For that reason, I don't really see these two working out. I fear that no matter what, they would always circle back to the same issues that never get resolved, since these issues are so deeply interconnected with their personal morals and values. In the end, Ada will always be the one to have more power in the relationship, playing with his feelings, while Leon won't set clear boundaries and will constantly fall for the same trap like a total dummy. Nevertheless, I love how badass Ada is, and I admire her for doing her own thing, regardless of what other people say. And I respect how true to his values Leon is, and how much he cares about people around him. For that reason, I do think they work together better as teammates and are fantastic characters separately, just not together as a romantic couple. Now let's get back to the game. After Ada leaves, I notice more and more knight statues, and I swear they're looking at me. We have to circle around the castle through its outer defense walls, and that's where we get a boss, another giant.
Another one. You guys are really starting to become a giant pain in my ass.
It was the easiest boss in the whole game. Eventually, we find a place where Ashley is hiding. She's really scared about what happened, that she wasn't able to fully control her own actions. I really appreciate the conversation that Leon has with Ashley after they reunite. He validates Ashley's feelings and gives her motivation and hope. He ensures that they will be able to do this together. This is the core of Leon's values, not stopping because it's the right thing to do, not stopping when there are people around you that you want to protect, not stopping no matter what other people say and how much they discourage you. Even when Ashley doubts whether she can do it, with no hesitation, Leon reassures her that she can.
I don't know if I can.
You can. Just give me a heads up before you stab me next time, okay?
Leon, thanks.
This is one of the most impactful conversations throughout the whole game, and it made me really admire Leon as a character. He represents strength in values and having people you care about by your side. Luis contacts Leon and tells him that he cannot meet us in the courtyard, so we have to go to the ballroom. As we explore the castle, there are more and more armor statues, and I am becoming more and more paranoid about them. I was actually streaming this chapter to my friends on Discord, and every single time I would make a comment that I feel like the armor is looking at me or making noises, they would joke around using this one Batman meme. Does he know? So I knew I'm up to something. Even Ashley makes a cute flirtatious joke that Leon could use an armor like this and he would look pretty dashing in it.
A little old-fashioned for my taste.
Too bad. I think you'd look pretty dashing.
While solving a puzzle where we have to obtain heads of different animals, there was a place that had a sculpture with a lion's head surrounded with knight statues. It was at this moment where I knew. As we take the lion's head, the knights wake up and start attacking us. During the battle, Ashley stays up on the balcony, and I love how she's the one to figure out that light stuns the knights. On top of that, she actively helps Leon in this battle, even though he tells her to stay safe. I really admire that Ashley doesn't want to be just this damsel in distress. She wants to ensure Leon's safety as much as her own. In the end, both of them genuinely care and help each other out, and I think it's really sweet. While Ashley gives Leon compliments, he also kind of flirts back. He tells her that usually he doesn't get such great company on his missions.
So, you do a lot of missions like this?
Well, yeah, but I'm not used to having such good company.
And this is something I did not expect to enjoy about this game. The flirting between Leon and Ashley. I think their flirting stands out because it's not based on physical attraction. When these two flirt, it's never about objectifying the other person and wanting something out of it. It's actually quite cute and wholesome. They show each other that they know one another's weaknesses. Leon is used to working alone, so he appreciates Ashley's company and her help. Ashley, on the other hand, shows appreciation for his protection and also his corny sense of humor. Does that mean I ship them? No, I do think they work really well together because of their dynamic and the mutual respect, but I don't consider their flirting romantic. I actually got the impression that this is purely friendly flirting. For example, that's how I joke with my friends pretty often. I flirt with them when I want to make them feel better about themselves, and I want to show them that they are cared for and wanted. I believe this is what Ashley and Leon were doing too. They were trying to release the stress and tension that was caused by the terrifying circumstances that they found themselves in. As we solve a puzzle, Leon gets trapped in a cage and orders Ashley to run. She escapes from the danger and promises herself that she won't abandon Leon. She wants to help him escape out of the cage. And now we play as Ashley, and our objective is to find the key to the cage. We pass a lot of knight armors, some of them being covered in white cloth, and as we do, you constantly feel like they're watching you. They make very slight noises, suggesting that these are not just regular knights, and they will be ready to attack you soon. There's also an eerie sound ringing in your ears, giving this unsettling feeling. Playing as Ashley was the first time in Resident Evil that I felt like I'm playing a true horror. Ashley has no weapons, only one lamp. So you, by the way, have to leave at some point. I simultaneously felt scared, but not as scared as I thought. It wasn't even about the atmosphere or being chased by enemies. It was simply the fact that I was so powerless. Before, when you play as Leon, you have all these weapons and medicine at your disposal. With Ashley, you get hit once and you're dead. This section of the game is how I have grown to appreciate Ashley even more. She does not give up. She promises herself that she won't run and she will free Leon. I have huge respect for Ashley, especially considering that she is the president's daughter, so I would imagine that up until now, she probably lived a really sheltered life, so this is a huge change for her. But she proves to be a strong and motivated woman who doesn't give up on others. When Ashley has to give away her only light source, it is now up to you and your timing, predicting the movement skills to manage to escape through the mausoleum. I do have to admit, it was one of the worst areas throughout the whole game, but at the same time, I really appreciated being there, as it really helps you to understand Ashley's character so much more, and she really grows in on you. Afterwards, we get back to Leon and give him the key to the cage. However, we are rudely interrupted and Ashley gets kidnapped again. This will be a reoccurring theme throughout the whole game. Later, we see a scene from Ada's perspective, where she's contacting her employer, telling him that Leon won't cause any troubles with her mission of obtaining the Ember. She then calls Leon and gives him a tip about Ashley's whereabouts, the throne room. This is the first time when we see Ada's grey morality truly shine through. She wants to pursue her own goals, and yet she wants Leon to succeed as well. On the other hand, she talks to her employer about Leon as if he was a dog, calling him a predictable good boy. I don't think you should be talking down your partner with other people, especially your boss. As we try to get to the throne room, it seems like it's too late. Ramon is performing some sort of ritual and pouring a dark liquid into Ashley that makes the parasite spread even more in her body. Leon gets pushed down the well and we end up in a sewer filled with these creepy bugs trying to kill us. We have to get to the ground level to retrieve Ashley, but Leon is starting to feel worse. We get into some abandoned underground area where an aggressive monster is running around. In order to get back to the surface, we need to get the elevator to work again. After we get the electricity back in action, we have to wait until the elevator also kindly decides to drop down. Let me tell you, it was the longest 5 minutes of my life. You can either choose to kill the monster, but from the looks of it, he's very powerful and I was kind of worried that I'm gonna waste all of my bullets on him. And the second option is to just stall, run around, try to freeze the monster with nitrogen once in a while, and hope that the freaking elevator is finally gonna drop down. At last, the elevator finally shows up. In the elevator, Leon gets a vision where he sees Lord Sadler and someone in a red military hat who is clearly being sent after Leon. After we get out of the elevator, we finally meet Louise, who has the medicine he promised us.
I'll make it cheap for you.
Leon takes it, but is aware that this is only a temporary solution to stop the effects of the plaga. This is a bit of a side note, but Louis Sera reminds me so much of Haymitch from the Hunger Games. His personality, body language, even his hair remind me so much of this character. Louise joins the team and we explore the underground area for a way out. We encounter 2 giants that we have to fight together. This was yet another favorite boss fight of mine. You even feel quite hopeful because you don't have to deal with the boss alone and you're able to defeat the first giant with ease. The second giant, however, has a really tough armor that you're having troubles getting through. Louise, in the middle of the fight, also just kinda leaves and tells you to occupy the giant for some time. He does come up with a brilliant idea and brings TNT to blow up the giant's armor and kill him. Next up in our adventure is traveling in minecarts. This entire minecart sequence is so silly and so out of place, and I love it. It's a nice change of pace to an overall combat-heavy game. As we're almost on the surface, Louise gets abruptly stabbed by a man we saw in that vision in the elevator named Krauser. Since I haven't played any other Resident Evil games, I can only assume that Major Krauser used to be Leon's mentor, and it's shocking for Leon to see Krauser betray him like this. Krauser takes the Ember from Luis and reveals that he is working for the cult now. This breaks Leon's heart and he's forced to draw his blade against him. Luis tries to shoot Krauser, but he manages to escape. While he still has strength, Luis gives Leon the key to his laboratory, where Leon will be able to get rid of the parasite. In his dying breath, Luis confesses to him that he lived a bad life, and he has many regrets. But at last, he wants to believe that people can change, including him. This is probably my favorite chapter in the game. It has a light-hearted tone, but it's also very thought-provoking. It touches upon difficult topics such as death, betrayal, and the question, can people change? I both cried and laughed at Luis's death. I laughed when he joked,
"And such a loss to the ladies of the world."
And cried when he said,
"People can change, right?"
This question, can people change, could be a whole separate essay on its own, so I will briefly try to share my opinion on the topic. I think that anyone can change, as I'm a firm believer of the fact that we are just the products of our circumstances. So if we actively try to change our circumstances and leave the horrible situation we're in, we will be able to eventually change. It won't make our past disappear, and we will have to learn to live with the consequences of our actions, but that's the price you pay, and you have to be the one to decide whether you think it's worth it. Personally, I'd say it always is. After Luis's death, Leon gets a call from Ada where she informs Leon that Ashley is being kept at the top of the clock tower. She tells him that if he hurries, he might be able to get to her before it's too late. In the clock tower, we see Lord Farquaad giving Ashley to Little Red Riding Hood. Leon, being seriously annoyed with Ramon, tries to shoot him, but then he evolves into the second big boss of the game. Ramon was my least favorite boss of the whole game, and that is 100% because of the fact that right before you have a section where you have to fight off so many enemies that are trying to jump on top of the elevator that you're using and stop it. The first time I played this game, I used pretty much all my ammo in this section, so when I entered Ramon's boss fight, well, you can imagine how fun that was. After defeating Ramon, Leon runs to find a boat to chase after Major Krauser, and Ada offers him a ride since Krauser also has the Ember that she's after. Part 3. I think I'm in the wrong game, aka the island. This section looks like a war zone. We have completely abandoned the climate of fall villages and spooky castles. There are only empty warehouses, military stations, and laboratories, with the last being the only horror-like environment in this whole section. Needless to say, I didn't like it, as it completely lost any charm that the previous parts had, and I felt very out of place. The chapter starts by Ada giving a ride to Leon. Leon still having Luis's death in mind and his question, reminiscence about the past, how the world changed, and how he did as well. This conversation is both great and also so frustrating to witness. Leon expresses that he has changed since everything started, but Ada denies it, saying that he only thinks he changed. Here's what's great about this conversation. It perfectly shows how these two would answer Luis's question. Leon believes people can change. He himself changed because of the state of the world. Ada doesn't believe that people change, regardless of their circumstances. She believes that eventually everyone falls back to their default state, and they're just lying to themselves if they don't think so. Here's what's frustrating about it. Change, most of the time, is internal. It's accepting yourself and your past and moving on. It's adapting yourself mentally to a new situation. It's not really something usually that an outside person can see. So I would get so pissed off if I said that I've changed after I did so much internal work, and then someone else just said, No, you didn't. You just think you changed. That's just one more reason why I don't think these two are a good couple. They disagree on fundamental morals and life philosophy. None of them are necessarily right or wrong, they just have different views on life. However, these things will always cause tensions since they are each other's polar opposites. I know people love saying opposites attract, but would you actually want to be someone who is completely opposite of you, especially in such a fundamental moral way? I don't think so. Also, I don't know what happened in the past, but it's clear that Ada once broke Leon's trust because of the differences in their values, and Ada still stands strong by what she believes in. Again, I don't think they are bad people. I actually love both of these characters separately, but they seem to be on completely different life and moral paths. Ada drops off Leon at the shore and he continues to search for Ashley. We managed to get into an abandoned warehouse / a lab where the code locked Ashley. In order to get to her, we have to find a key card to unlock the door. As we explore the area, tension rises because of absolute silence. At some point, we can hear a creepy sound and see a flash of something slowly going into one of the rooms. But as we approach it, we realize that there's nothing in it. Where did this thing go? In the lab, we learn more and more about the experiments that the cult has been doing and what kind of monster they managed to create. One of them being the Regenerator, the absolute worst and most terrifying enemy in the game.
What the fuck are you?
It's this soggy, humanoid-looking creature that knocks you with its elastic long arms or lunges at you with full force. When I first had to fight against him, I was genuinely so scared. It felt like it had so much HP. It took me a while to understand that if you don't shoot specific spots that you can only see if you use a biosensor scope, the monster will keep regenerating. Figures considering the name, but you know. So I used up all my ammo the first time I faced this enemy, and let me tell you, it was not fun to have to kill another one in the freezer full of hanging body bags later. After obtaining the card, we run to Ashley and give her the medicine that suppresses the effects of the plaga. When Ashley wakes up, Leon tells her about Luis's death. Even though his death saddens her, she wants to keep going for him.
For Luis.
Leon calls Ada to ask for help in finding the lab. They need to travel to the top of the mountain. It's so nice to see how much Ada helps Leon. It shows me how complex of a character she is. She's not a villain by any means. I don't think she actually wants anyone to get hurt. She just simply wants to do her job, even though the organization she works at is up to no good. I also adore how happy Ashley is to be back with Leon. The same thing happens with Leon. He knows he can count on her to help him. They make a great team. Leon, in fact, had such a huge impact on Ashley's life that he made her feel inspired to become an agent and save the US with him. Leon doesn't shut down her idea, which positively surprised me because I fully expected him to dismiss it. Leon just tells her that they need to make it out of here alive first. At the top of the mountain, we finally meet Lord Sadler in person. He uses the parasites inside of them to control their bodies and makes Ashley shoot Leon. What I love about this scene is that Ashley resists so much to Sadler's control that she first shoots 2 of his own people before she even points at Leon. Fortunately, there are no more bullets left, so Leon doesn't die as Ashley pulls the trigger. Lord Sadler takes Ashley away from Leon once again, and so, surprise, we have to find her again. But before we do that though, let's talk about Leon's plot armor, because my man should have died 3 times at least throughout this whole game. First of all, dropping down the well. What is this? Even if he somehow slowed down his fall, he would knock out his arms and wrists out of his joints from the gravity's impact. So if he magically didn't die, he would still not make it out alive in his condition. 2. Jumping out of the minecart. This was the most action hero move in the entire game, and I low-key laughed when it happened. That's just not how physics work. But I'm willing to bet an eye because it was kind of funny. 3. Gun running out of bullets exactly at the moment when Ashley shoots Leon. Ironically, this is the most believable plot armor. Going back to the game, Leon is exploring the area, and in one of the tents, he finds a picture of baby Leon with a writing on it, "I'm waiting," suggesting that Krauser is waiting somewhere up ahead to fight us. When we get to him, Leon questions Krauser why he betrayed him, why he's doing all of this. His former mentor gives him the most lame explanation of all time. Power? Or really? Even Leon kinda agrees with me.
So that's your true power? Oh, I'd ask for a refund.
It's the third big boss of the game. This one definitely requires you to use your brain a little bit more and not just spam ammo. Using the terrain to your advantage, parrying and going up and down to use Krauser's jumps to his disadvantage was a good challenge that didn't feel too overwhelming. The battle comes to an end with Leon killing his mentor. After defeating Krauser, we straight up just enter a war game. It's one of my least liked chapters. It wasn't bad, the gameplay was okay, but it was so strangely disconnected from the whole game. We arrive at the sanctuary where we see Ashley unconscious and try to take her away. However, Lord Sadler shows up and he tries to stop us with his body control powers. Last second, Ada saves the day by distracting Lord Sadler, what a baddie, and helps these two escape to Lewis's laboratory. In the lab, Leon performs a purification surgery on Ashley and passes out right after it. Leon wakes up and realizes that Ashley already did the procedure on him when he was unconscious. Now, both of them are free of the parasite. They once again assure each other that they are in this together, and I find it so touching. I love how supportive their friendship has gotten throughout the whole game. We also finally learn Lewis's story through various files scattered around the lab and what the amber actually is. Lewis used to experiment for the cult and found a sample of the amber. He brought it to his lab to do research on it and found out that it contains the same organ that Lord Sadler has in himself. It's possible that once that organ is fully developed, it can even surpass Sadler's power of controlling bodies that contain the parasite. In order to protect the humanity from such a destructive power, Louis stole the amber and contacted the group that Ada works in. They promised to get him out of the cult safely in exchange for the amber. He didn't trust the group though, and so he was still hoping to find a way to get out of this situation in order to protect the world. After learning the truth, Leon goes off to find Sadler, who is keeping Ada hostage and also now has the amber. Leon frees Ada and challenges Sadler into a battle.
Ada!
This is the final boss of the game, and it was alright. I didn't think it was difficult or unique. The only thing is that it did a lot of damage, but that's it. I just didn't feel like the boss is creative enough for the final one of the entire game. Ada helps Leon perform the final shot and they blow up Sadler, which causes a massive explosion in their warehouse, and all of the cult members experience physical pain after the loss of their leader. Ada takes the amber from Sadler and betrays Leon's trust once again. She offers him a ride home, but he refuses, which is understandable. Leon realizes that this is what will always differentiate him from Ada, and no matter what, they won't be able to follow the same values and paths. He makes the decision that this is where they have to go their separate ways, talking both about their missions and also their romantic relationship. Ada naturally feels hurt by this, but still hopes to see him in the future. She gives him the key to her boat to help him safely escape the island. At last, Leon and Ashley manage to do so thanks to Ada's aid, and when everything calms down, they have a heartwarming conversation, reflecting on this whole mission. Ashley offers Leon a position as one of her bodyguards, but Leon rejects the offer by telling her that she has already proven her strength and that she can take care of herself. They soon drive off to the sunset, and as cliche of an ending that was, I loved it. In the post-credit scene, we can see Ada contacting her employer, telling him that she has the Ember. She asks him what is it for and finds out that the power in this organism can lead to deaths of billions of innocent people. Ada is shocked by this and she doesn't approve, causing so many casualties. And this whole time I was like, girl, was that not obvious? Even if she didn't see Lewis's files in his lab or ask him about the properties of the Amber, you can still easily make an assumption that this is some sort of extremely powerful weapon. I mean, why else would everyone be so obsessed over it? Especially people who are also obsessed with power, such as her employer, Sadler, Major Krauser. She kind of lost me there for a second, I'm not gonna lie. However, she does come to her senses and decides to not give the Ember to her boss. Ada tells the pilot to change the course, and that's where the story ends. My first experience playing a horror game could be summed up in just a few words. It wasn't as bad as I thought. I think I made horror games, or at least this type of survival horror game, way scarier in my head than it actually was. I don't really think I was scared most of the time throughout the game. It was more like a feeling of discomfort. The only times that I actually felt scared was in that dark tunnel that had nothing in it, fighting against regenerators, and also while playing as Ashley. This game made me appreciate horror as a genre. The reason why I never pick these stories up is because I hate gore and jump scares. Resident Evil 4 though didn't really rely much on those. It was focused on creating atmosphere with music, environment, sounds, and movement in the corner of your eye. And even that was still just a background to an overall action-packed story with memorable and complex characters. Speaking of which, I can finally talk about Leon. At the beginning of the video, I told you that the main reason why I picked this game up was because I wanted to understand why so many people are so head over heels for him. Understanding other people's perspective is how I feel most connected to people, and sometimes that just means looking at fictional men and analyzing their behavior. We could write down many reasons why Leon is so popular. The number one reason I saw online why people love Leon so much is his sense of humor. And I 100% agree with that. From the very start of the game, you can see that he doesn't take himself seriously and often minimizes the severity of the danger by making corny, sarcastic jokes. It's a coping mechanism that is not only relatable for a lot of people, but also helps you, the player, to relax and laugh with him. His one-liners were absolutely the highlight of the game for me. I remember the first time I threw a bomb at the villagers and I heard Leon say,
"Present for you."
I started giggling so much that I had to pause the game. The second reason why many people love Leon is that he is badass. I have to say that I don't really agree with this reasoning because I guess I define badassery in a different way than probably most people. For example, I think that Ashley is badass for cooperating with Leon so well and wandering around the castle with just a lamp in order to save someone she cares about. I think that Ada is badass for always having a lot of information on enemies' actions and being able to provide it to others. Luis is badass for wanting to change his horrible life and died protecting someone he thought was a good person. Heck, even the merchant is badass for also casually showing up in the most dangerous places and keeping up his cheerful personality. But when other people call someone badass, I think they are usually referring to them being physically and mentally strong, being skilled in combat, not losing your cool while facing danger. That's just not the reason why I think Leon is great. Third reason, Leon is attractive. This is the matter of personal taste. He's not really my type if I'm being honest, but I can understand what other people see. He's a masculine man with shiny hair and bright eyes. It can be quite endearing for a lot of people. But the reason why Leon stands out to me personally are his values. And this is why I needed you to watch the whole video before I talked about it. Throughout the game, Leon stays loyal to his mission no matter what. But if you pay attention to his reasoning, it's never about his duty as an agent. It comes down to his outlook on life.
You think I'm gonna give up that easy?
He always strives to do what's right. And in this game, the right thing to do is to free an innocent woman from the grasp of an aggressive cult and stop their leader from causing more harm in the world.
So then, you will comply. Yes?
Never.
You heard the lady.
Leon also stays pretty optimistic throughout the whole game. He never even once had a moment of doubt whether whatever he's doing is even worth it. Doing the right thing to him is always worth it. He keeps a positive attitude because he doesn't focus on only accomplishing his mission. He focuses on always standing up against evil. That's his motivation. Even if he fails temporarily, like for example when he loses contact with the headquarters, not all hope is lost until there is a way to get right back up. Another one of Leon's values is his loyalty. He stays loyal to saving Ashley and tells her many times that they are in this together, giving her a silent promise that he won't leave.
Together.
This is also shown in the first conversation that Leon has with Ada. He tells her that he is not the type of person who just gives up, alluding to both saving Ashley and his relationship with Ada. Lastly, he's very supportive and reassuring towards people around him. In Luis's last moments, he helps Luis smoke his last cigarette, giving him a sense of comfort and ease. When Ashley feels guilty and scared after Lord Sadler first controlled her body and made her attack Leon, he calmly approaches her, doesn't force close proximity when he notices Ashley backing away, and validates her feelings.
I'm so scared. When that happened, I wasn't myself anymore. I was something else.
She must have been terrifying. I know. It's okay to be afraid, you know.
I can tell you from a woman's perspective that a man who validates your feelings is a treasure that many, including me, deeply cherish. Seeing all these traits brings a sense of attachment to his character and admiration. His loyalty, values, positive mindset, and a sense of humor help you, the player, get through the game with him. Leon was definitely my favorite part of this whole game, and his complex relations with Ada, Ashley, Luis, and even Major Krauser gave the story an emotional depth that I really enjoyed. Overall, Resident Evil 4 was a great introduction to the horror genre to me. The gameplay mechanics were fun, the bosses engaging, and the puzzles intuitive and exciting. It has easily become one of my favorite games that I've played this year. I can't help but wonder though,
would I have enjoyed this game as much if I didn't play it on the easy mode?
Honestly, I don't think so. I believe that choosing the easy mode was the right move for me. Not just because I would end up dying a lot because I have no skill, but also because I am just not a challenger type of person. I know a lot of people feel a sense of achievement and accomplishment after defeating a difficult boss that took them like 10 tries to kill. I don't have that. By the time I finally defeat the boss, I am so mentally exhausted that I don't even have the motivation to continue the game. I wish I was one of those people that enjoys playing games that are just slightly challenging and difficult, but I'm really not. I play games for their characters and stories. The actual gameplay comes second. It also got me thinking about the fact that there is a stigma around people who play on easy mode. Occasionally, I see others shaming someone who chooses the easy mode because they're not a real gamer and the intended difficulty of the game is something. But why? Games are made for people to explore them, not to be played on one correct way. Easy mode exists for a reason. Not everyone has the time to play a lot of hours weekly in order to develop the necessary skills to play on a higher level. Or in my case, I simply lose the joy of playing the game if I'm struggling. And if I don't enjoy the game, then what's the point of me playing it? There's nothing shameful about playing games on easy mode. As long as you have a fun experience, that's all that matters. To some, easy mode might be too easy and they start to feel bored quickly. We're all different and that's okay. Regardless, I am very proud of myself for finishing this whole game, and I guess I've learned something through this experience. Sometimes things are not as bad as we make them out to be in our heads. So, what's next? I definitely think that more horror games are in my way. I actually already purchased the Resident Evil 2 remake because I want to check out the origins of Leon's story, but I also want to play Silent Hill 2, which I know is way more scary than this one, so wish me luck. If you would like to see me talk about these games or have any other suggestions, then feel free to let me know in the comments. I'm so grateful that you stuck around to watch this whole video, and I really hope to see you in another one. Bye bye!